Broadcasting live from Westvale Abbey on the plain of Innistrad, this is TapTapConcede. Welcome everybody to TapTapConcede. My name is Graham, and joining me is Cameron. And Kathleen.
I'm injured.
And today on the show, we're talking about things you could add to your collection and how to remove things from your collection, I guess is what we're going over.
Can I remove my broken talus from my collection?
Ooh,
because,
a talus.
Well, it's technically, that's the bone that I broke. And it's technically part of the ankle, but the part of my talus I broke is more centered on my foot. But I don't like it. I'd like to return it, please.
Oh, it sounds awful.
Can I get store credit?
You've got the shoes. Equipped for zero.
Yeah. What are that?
It's an air boot.
Your moon shoe.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah, I mean, you can walk. Well, I mean, it is designed to be able to be walked on, but I'm not supposed to walk on it because I'm healing.
Right.
For those listening to the audio version of this podcast, Kathleen broke her foot and has a comically large gray, moon shoe looking air boot to keep the foot all where it's supposed to be while she doesn't put weight on it.
Is that like a Reebok pump at the front?
Yes,
literally
it is. Yeah, you pump it up.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's rigid.
So it really holds your foot in place. But
I'm glad that there's
overpumped it to demonstrate that.
The technology is being used for good.
I mean, it's honestly pretty cool, and it is. They're like, you can, if it really bothers you, you can take it off to sleep. But the thought of moving my foot in the middle of the night is so terrifying. I do not want to take it off.
Yeah.
Also, we have large cats
who like to sleep upon your legs and stuff like that and walk across you.
No bueno. I remember when I got this put in, he gestures to his piercing. I would occasionally wake up in the middle of the night having sat upright with a memory of intense pain.
Oh, because you...
Yeah, because I just rolled onto it in the middle of the night while it was healing. And I wouldn't experience pain and wake up. I would already be awake.
You would just gain consciousness sitting up going, I hurt myself a moment ago.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I had a piercing up at the top of my ear, and I actually couldn't abide it because I'm a side sleeper. So just the healing process was so bad, I ended up taking it out after a few months.
I also would become intensely aware of whenever my earbuds became tangled in something and applied just a little bit of tension. So I can't imagine, wanting to take that off and experiencing that only your entire leg.
Yeah, well, it's just like my ankle. So to get into the nitty gritty of it.
Go for it. I'll do the housekeeping in a minute.
Yeah. Well, how about we do the housekeeping?
Okay, sure. This is going to be one of those casual discussions episodes, like we say at the top of the show. We're going to talk about there's a current Secret Lair super drop. We're going to talk about Cameron getting his collection culled. And we're going to hear more about the ankle. But first, a reminder that this show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Please check out cardkingdom.com/LRR. Get your cardboard there. Ask them, tell them Loading Ready Run sent me, and they'll give you a little button. And we got to send a new batch of buttons in, but you'll still get one. It'll just say a kingdom of cards. And of course, the show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. And we really appreciate it. Also, this is not, you may have gathered, not the nicknames episode, which I think last week we said would be this week, but actually it's next week. You get an extra week of voting. We're going to potentially change how we present it, but more on that later. Kathleen, you were saying.
Oh, I was saying how miserable this is mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a specific point you were trying to make. I can't remember what now.
I'm struggling to remember as well.
It was about the bones that were broken.
Oh, yeah.
Bless you. Slight sneezing fit. And
how many?
Five?
How many can you proc?
Yeah.
Well, I took an allergy pill, so hopefully I'm topping out at 5 today.
Not going to drop a James, shaman in World of Warcraft. Their totem that would proc multiple attacks. Wind Fury. No, not Wind Fury. Wind something.
I don't know what you're talking about.
James is shrugging.
I'm just going off on a complete boomer tangent.
I thought you played that game.
Some random neuron fire.
Wind Rush?
I
don't know. I just searched Wind Totem Shaman, and it said Wind Rush. So I don't know.
This was like OG World of Warcraft.
I played Hunter, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
Oh, you played a skill-based class. Mew, 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 mew.
If you know what Cameron's talking about, put it in the comments.
Because I sure don't.
Oh, yeah, my foot. Back to me. I remembered I was going to talk about. But, like, So the injury is I fell backwards tripping on a step, and sort of like I saw it happen as like basically my foot got wedged between like a slope and a concrete step, and I tipped backwards and landed on my left hand a little bit as well, which is totally fine. Just like probably a little bit of internal bruising. It's very minorly sore now, but no injuries. This is, according to the doctors, it is very unusual for what happened that the only part I injured was my ankle. Normally, this also results in people tearing their knees.
Congratulations.
Yes, this is unusual, and as far as injuries go, extremely lucky.
And speaking of unusual, we're going to get mildly medical for a moment. Ordinarily, what happens to people who did what you did is
they
that
tear all the ligaments in their ankle.
Tear the ligament,
which requires surgery.
But the ligament's too strong.
My ligaments were like, no, we're not quitting here. You know what? Quit the bone the ligament's attached to. So the ligaments just pulled a little chunk of bone off. So
yeah, it can do that.
Metal.
I heard a pop. I guess we should probably put a content warning.
I said that. That was my attempt at a content warning.
But yeah, no. So that got But the point being, that's actually better to heal because the bone's going to heal in I have an X-ray next week and should be healed in a few weeks, and I should be back walking normally on it in 8 weeks.
Okay.
But if I had torn my ligaments, it would be a much longer recovery.
Right. So surgery and then put in carbon fiber.
They just have to surgically repin. It would be nasty. I'm not going to describe what the ordeal would be, but it would be an ordeal. So I'm lucky, and as far as I can tell from my actual physical ankle movement, my ankle is just I had a bath this morning. Cleanliness is a real challenge, but I feel like I've worked out a good system a week in, thank goodness. But my ankle is just the back is bruised, the side is bruised, my foot's still really swollen, there's bruising all around the side and stuff like that. But the actual ligament part feels fine now. So I think it was at most a minor strain because the bone took all the brunt of it. But like I said, that's honestly better. Bones heal much better than ligaments.
Amazing.
Yeah,
okay,
I didn't know that. I was like, oh no. And they're like, no, this is good.
Yeah.
You're lucky.
I've always heard a break is better than a sprain.
Yes, that it absolutely is. So I have I would say a minor ankle sprain, but a real problem with the bones in, it's technically an ankle bone, but where it's sorest is my foot.
All
so
right.
Gross. Look forward to this for the next few weeks.
I love the stool we have for you.
Yeah, this was all James. James set it up. It's
Thank you,
the
James.
Secret Lair cooler chest with a cushion on top. It's honestly the perfect height. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Speaking of Secret Lair,
Ooh.
see that was a great segue. There's a whole bunch of new Secret Lairs. It's the what do they call it? It's the Spring Super Drop. Spring Super Drop. Well, actually, there's a bunch of stuff. So on the Secret Lair website, they also have, currently, they've just put up the Festival in a Box for Barcelona, for those who cannot attend MagicCon Barcelona. And there are 2 different versions. There's the Drafter's Dream bundle, which is a box of Mystery Booster Convention Edition and 2 promo cards and an entire box of Brothers War and Dominaria Remastered. A box of Brothers War draft boosters and a box of Dominaria Remastered boosters. So it's 3 booster boxes and these 2 promos for $320.
That seems like a pretty good deal.
What if you're a more commander-focused person? There's another one that still has the mystery boosters, the box of Mystery Booster Convention Edition, and the promo cards, which, by the way, are Arcane Signet and an alternate art Relentless Rats, if you need your Relentless Rats, and 6 commander decks.
6 commander decks?
Yeah. The pictured are the 2 from Brothers War, Urza and Mishra, and the 4 Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate decks, which we've played a couple times. So it's the Party Time with Nalia, Darnice, Mind Flayers with Captain
Nithrod.
Nagarthrod, Draconic Descent with Furcrag, and Exit from Exile with Faldorn Dreadwolf Herald. And we've played all of these decks on Elder Dragon Social Club. So yeah, that one's only merely $300. So yeah, if you don't...
That seems like a really good deal.
Honestly, it seems like a pretty good deal.
But for the full Marathon Barcelona event, don't you also need like a bunch of British tourists complaining that they can't pay in pounds?
Generally speaking, yeah.
Okay,
I think so, yeah.
I've heard that's like the primo, like if you were in Spain, you must absolutely experience British tourists complaining that they have to use euros.
No word here on how you achieve getting British tourists to show up to your draft night and complain that it's too hot. But you know, there's that. Also, speaking of MagicCon, at MagicCon Minneapolis, they unveiled and announced the secret a new Secret Lair commander deck called From Cute to Brute. So it's I'll just read you this. It's a 100-card commander deck, 42 double-faced reprints, 5 of which have new art, featuring a cute side with art by Nanaki and a brute side with new art from God Machine. So they actually unveiled the Westvale Abbey during Game Nights Live. Jimmy had it in his deck. I was like, I'm going to play Westvale Abbey. And the rest of us were like, sorry, what? So yeah, look, it's Westvale Abbey. Isn't it wonderful? Yeah. It's so great. And then it turns into Ormondal, Profane Prince. It's very cool. I appreciate the
flavor text. I love what I've done with the place.
That's very. I imagine Ari's responsible for that one. But I like the sort of the theming. The other ones are Eska, God of the Tree, looking lovely there, and then the Prismatic Bridge.
Look at all those bad guys coming across the Prismatic Bridge.
Yep,
dope.
That's a popular commander card, so that's pretty sweet. Archangel Avacyn. Looking cool. And then Avacyn the Purifier.
My queen.
That looks like some sort of heavy metal stuff. Oh, good flavor text as well. Just pray.
Yeah.
Bloodline Keeper. I love that it's literally, it's almost exactly the same art. Like, or the same, it's the same, like...
Brief.
Yeah. Like, it's framed the same way as the original Bloodline Keeper. And then Lord of Lineage.
Oh.
Every mouth gets fed, no matter how large or pointy. And finally, Nicol Bolas the Ravager, which is just, it's too cute for words.
Oh, with Eugene in the background. They're playing.
Oh my God, I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
I didn't even see Eugen was there. Oh, that's so great. And then, of course, Nicol Bolas the Arisen, looking very cool. Also with Eugen in the background.
That art, I've seen this.
Oh, it looks like Belphegor from Night on Bald Mountain.
Right.
In Fantasia.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, like, you know, like demonic, draconic figure silhouetted very strongly. It's like, gee, where have I seen this before? Everywhere, Cameron. But like this feels, it's Belphegor, right?
Yeah.
I like that art technique of like, to make them look extra creepy, you just put the face in shadow and you just see the eyes.
Yeah, the eyes.
That's, you know, to me really sells it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a full deck list. There are 15 double-faced tokens, 53 single-sided reprints, 42 double-sided reprints, these 5 cards with the new art. You can see the full deck list. It's $150. Now, you may be wondering, as I was, because the first question I asked was, didn't the last time they did a Secret Lair commander deck, wasn't that a colossal failure because they didn't fulfill that for a year?
Yeah, a year.
Yeah, like it was Gavin's coin flip deck,
right,
with Orkun and Zindersplit, and they did a Secret Lair for it, and people ordered it, and it took like ages to get printed and fulfilled. And yes, there was supply line issues with, there was like pandemic stuff as well, and it was a whole knock-on thing, but it was still,
not a great experience.
Not a great experience. So this one, this is not print to order. This is they've produced an amount of it, and this is while supplies last.
Right.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just they've printed them, they exist already. You order it, and they'll ship it to you. And when they sell out, they're gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, that's a better way of doing it. Because the first thing I asked was like, how are they going to make it not be miserable for everybody this time? Turns out, there you go.
They're making it ahead of time.
Yeah.
It's like a cake. You bake the cake and then you sell the cake.
Yeah. It's like, who wants a slice of cake?
We are out of cake.
Yep. We will produce the cake to order. Which, you get the cake you want. However, it is prone to failure.
Yeah, you got to wait for the cake to get baked.
These are some very funny choices for the tokens. Because they're double-sided tokens, right?
Okay.
So it's vampire, zombie, vampire, ape.
Okay.
Wolf, vampire, wolf, soldier, wolf, Ashaya the Awoken World, black wolf,
Ashaya,
cat,
meow,
pest, Luca emblem, pest, Jace emblem, beast, Liliana emblem, plant, Chandra emblem, human cleric, Arlen emblem, elf warrior, Tybalt emblem, and then treasure, flying golem, clue, trample golem, food, vigilance golem.
Okay, then.
It's just, these are a very, I want to know how they work this stuff out.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if there's a frequency distribution of like, these are the ones that we'll need the most of.
I guess.
And then opposite are the more
esoteric, I suppose, ones.
Yeah, but like when you need an emblem, You can't be like fishing through them.
Yeah.
But just out of curiosity, what are the pests like?
They haven't shown the art for them yet. They're just currently it's just the Strixhaven pests, and it may just be the Strixhaven pests. Like I don't know that they're doing new art for them necessarily.
I always wondered why the Strixhaven Witherbloom mages bothered giving pests faces, because they're basically like self-replicating Capri Suns, right?
Yeah.
You would think that like, oh, this one has a face. I don't feel comfortable jamming a straw into its abdomen.
Throwing it into like a vat of like magical goo.
Yeah.
To turn it into a spell. Witherbloom is like, I don't know. I really like the flavor wise of like, life and death. Mm-hmm. We're not squicked out by death.
Mm-hmm. Death is a normal part of life for you.
Yeah. Then, like, pests are little magical beings, right?
Yeah. They don't experience pain. Yes, James?
I'm curious, was this the same price as the first one of these? Do we remember?
No, I think this is a little more expensive.
Yeah, I'm curious.
At $150.
Would any of you buy this for $150 US?
I mean, it doesn't seem bad. I should mention that like all 10 pathways are in this deck, right?
Ooh.
So like
that's good value.
That's like like $60 in non-basic land. Honestly,
I mean, like
I was just looking at the deck list and I was like, oh dang, okay, that's actually not bad.
I'm not convinced it's entirely my jam. Like, I prefer to brew my commander decks, James.
I'm giving you that pre-con. I'll just toot it up a bit. I mean, I would buy it if I wasn't the world's cheapest person.
Yeah. I think this one is a miss for me, but that's not an indictment of the product.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's frustrating because if this was $99, I'd snap it up because this is honestly my favorite Secret Lair. I think like of the 5 cards. Like the actual from cute to brute, like those cards. I've never bought a Secret Lair. If these were just 5 cards for the Secret Lair, I'd probably make that my first ever Secret Lair. And it bums me out that they're packaged up with the
rest of the
commander deck that I just don't care about at all. So
I don't know. I think if you are new to Magic, I think this is honestly a really good. I don't know. I'm not prof. I'm not going to break down the numbers here. I feel like if you are newer and you are looking to expand your collection, this seems like a pretty good way of doing it. You get a playable commander deck. It's yes, it's pricey. It's a premium product, but you get a lot of stuff that's useful in maybe other decks and stuff like that. Like, I don't think I think if you are interested, and I think it's probably just fine value, because you can pull the deck apart if you want and use it in other places, because you do get a lot of stuff for that, and you get some cool cards.
There's a lot of legendary creatures in this deck, right? Because like there's the ones that we mentioned, but there's also Jace Vryn's Prodigy. There's the flip walkers, right? There's the flip Liliana, the flip Jace, the flip Chandra, Valky. There's Voldaren Pariah, not legendary, but just jumped out at me.
Does Voldaren Pariah have new art?
No, the only ones that have new art are those 5.
Oh, Voldaren Pariah is actually like the sickest card ever.
It's very cool.
Voldaren Pariah so much. It's highly placed near my favorite cards.
The flip Nissa, the flip. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of the Strixhaven Deans in here, and then also just Zatalpa, for fun. Who's actually the commander? I guess it's.
Is it?
I guess it's either got to be Nicol Bolas or Eska, right?
Yeah.
Wait, who's actually?
I assume it's Nicol Bolas because it is a Grixis deck, right?
No, it's be all 5 colors.
All 5
because
colors.
it's got Nissa in it.
Yeah.
So maybe it is Essica.
Right, because the Rainbow Bridge is all 5 colors.
Right. Yeah, because you get to you cast the bridge, and then you just get to wheel into all the other. Yeah, the Prismatic Bridge is a messed up card.
You get to, as I believe the children say, pop off.
Yeah. At the beginning of your upkeep, you reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature or planeswalker. You put it onto the battlefield, and the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. But yeah,
seems good.
For some reason, the deck list doesn't actually specify who the commander is. So yeah, I assume that it's meant to be Eska. Anyway,
popular choice.
Yeah, but yeah, it definitely seems like there's. I don't know. Yeah, I honestly, thinking about it now, normally this is something we would discuss off camera. We should probably grab one for the collection. We should probably pick one of these up for the Elder Dragon Social Club.
The wheel?
For the wheel, yeah.
Yeah.
From Cute to Brute?
Yeah. Should probably grab that. Elsewhere in the Spring Super Drop, there are 3 showcase drops for March the Machine. So something that I legitimately think this is very cool, the way that they did all the multiverse legends on the bonus sheet for March the Machine, where they did them all with the showcase frame from their original plane, and indeed inventing a showcase frame for planes that didn't previously have one, which I think is really cool. And these are other creatures that are not legendary. No, they are. Oh no, they're not all legendary. These are other cards
that they would have included on this sheet if they had the space or they were legendary.
I think so, yeah. So some of them are legendary, some of them aren't, but these are other things in that style. So they all have the showcase variant frame of their plane.
The runners-up.
Yeah.
Of the showcases.
Before we start, I saw a very interesting post on the Magic subreddit, and I don't remember the username who made it, so apologies. But it was like a comparison of TCG prices to the new showcase frames compared to just the normal art, and then like what the most valuable ones. And it was interesting. Eldraine was at the top, and Ravnica was down at the bottom. And a lot of people, myself included, were like, how is the Ravnica one so low? But I think their comparison didn't sort of take into account what kind of demand there is for like Judith and Teysa and stuff like that, right? Which is, I feel like as older cards, maybe it's a little bit lower, right?
Well, and like I would assume that the print quantity of older Ravnica cards inflates their value.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
As compared to the Eldraine cards, where the showcase frames are a little bit more special and limited. But the point being, I want to say, the showcase frames, the new ones they invented, are all amazing. And I think the graphic designers did a very good job with that, of sort of giving each plane its own identity. And
I like how also, although I guess Ragavan is the exception here, but I like how, because the Kaladesh one was originally for the inventions, so there was all artifacts. And so even when they put it on creatures like Rayev or Baral and Kari Zev, they were statues of those characters.
Yeah, the heroes of the invasion. There's monuments they've built to honor them.
Yeah. So even though the card was a creature, the image was an artifact, kind of.
The big stone thing.
Except for Ragavan, who I guess was still just a monkey, unless I was misinterpreting that art. But anyway, okay. So the first one of these in the super drop, the March of the Machines, we have Wheel and Deal from New Capenna. 3 in a blue instant. Any number of target opponents each discard their hand and draw 7 cards, and then draw a card, and then you draw a card. I'm not going to read out every single one of these, but I didn't recall Wheel and Deal offhand, so I'm just mentioning it. Questing Beast with new art there in the sort of the storybook style. This Questing Beast is awesome.
Yeah.
I was initially... So they have the weird like book thing in the rules box there, because of course this frame was originally designed for only cards with adventure. I'm okay with it.
I just want them to erase that crease.
Yeah,
that's fair.
You could style it so it looked more like a scroll unrolling if you wanted to.
That's true. But man, this art is very cool.
That's great art.
I agree. I like that.
We've got Olivia Valdarin with the Crimson Vow frame. And
there's the background, the Realm Breaker tenties in the background.
Yep. We've got a Walking Ballista. That's pretty exciting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Frame. Now this this has to be the second time that Walking Ballista has appeared in this frame, right? Hasn't Ballista been printed in the Invention frame before?
I want to say it must have been.
Or am I making this up?
I mean, like Hangerback Walker was.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Hangerback Walker, which was a similar but different card. I'm looking it up right now, but I think you might be right.
Everyone's favorite technical, Walking Ballista.
Walking Ballista does have a... I forgot about that. Has a different Secret Lair appearance where it looks like a transformer, which I totally forgot about.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember which... James, can you find the like older Secret Lair of Walking Ballista where it looks like a mecha? James is looking for it. Look at that thing.
Whoa.
Huh.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty cool.
That's
no.
Ultra Magnus.
This is the first time Walking Ballista has ever been in this frame. And finally, in that same bundle of 5 cards is the World Tree. A land. So that's from Kaldheim. So the
R.I.P. World Tree.
Yep. The March of the Machine bundles. Now this is interesting. The March of the Machine showcase frames, all 3 of these are only available in the Halo foil, which was the collector booster exclusive foil treatment.
Right. Was that the one with the
the
oily one with the Phyrexian symbols?
No, that's the Step and Complete, which is a very funny pun. No, the Halo foil was the sort of
It's like a shimmery. It's got like curved lines of like different levels of shimmer in it. Almost is it is almost impossible to capture like online or in photographs, but like when you look at it in person, it's almost like I don't want to say oil. Right. But like, you know how oil has those like organic curves and stuff like that?
Interference patterns of I
think that's a fair description, yeah. So yeah, these 3 bundles are only available in the Halo foil.
Which honestly I think looks sick as hell. So
it does look cool. The second one of the March of the Machine ones features Higure the Still Wind, which
I do not remember this card.
I don't remember this card either. Is this originally from a commander deck? It's got ninjutsu. Oh, it's very old. It's from actual OG Kamigawa. Holy moly.
I can hear Wheeler getting mad at us for not knowing what this card was from
Cool.
here.
All right. Sweet. Higure the Still Wind. Nezahal the Primal Tide from Ixalan. The Ixalan showcase frame is divisive. I love it. I think it's really cool.
I like that. I love the outside of the frame, but I feel like that everything being on a coin, like I understand exactly why they've done it. However, it takes away some of the immediate recognizability of the art for me.
I agree with that.
As a picture person.
I agree with that. That's fair. Dragon Lord Kolaghan. Very cool. back from Tarkir.
This is an ink split.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a Marvel Snap joke.
Mina and Den, Wildborn from Zendikar. I still love the Zendikar frame.
The Zendikar frame is dope because it's got that like subtle hedron in it.
But very clean.
Yeah.
And Xantia, Sleeper Agent.
I was looking at this card a lot, and I don't know if this is awful or amazing, but I enjoy it.
What, the artwork or the actual card?
The actual card.
Well, Xantia Sleeper Agent is a very old card. It's from Apocalypse. I'm trying to remember what set it would be based on. Okay, so story-wise, Xantia sort of shows up like the second time Urza comes back as a planeswalker. She's sent as a Phyrexian to infiltrate Dominaria, but she gains like a soul and a conscience and is like, no, I don't think so, and sort of becomes sort of like a double agent working with Urza. This is like in the Urza Gerard Capuchin kind of defeating Yawgmoth once and for all, old-timey Phyrexian thing.
Okay. Yeah, invasion block.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know. I don't know when the card was printed. I never played with it, but I know enough about the lore that I can sort of pinpoint it into that era. James, when did it actually come out?
I think this one was first printed in Commander.
Oh,
like
Commander.
more recently. I think Xantia's an old character, but this card was first printed in Commander 2018.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. But previously, a minion, now a Phyrexian minion, and with the art frame, with the showcase treatment from Phyrexia, all will be one.
Right, because it's all the black and white.
She's a Phyrexian now.
Well, I mean, she was always a Phyrexian.
Yeah, sorry. Then the third one, we've got Misdirection, which they've put into the Strixhaven Mystical Archive, which makes sense.
Mystical Archive is still like, I feel like this is maybe one of my absolute favorite of all time card frames.
Yeah, I like the Mystical Archive a lot, and so much of the art from it, like the stuff by like Dominic Mayer and Wiley Beckert and those folks. That no shade on this art either. This one also rules, but I love the very stylized geometric sort of treatment that most of the art got as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is taking its cues from it because it's got like a very flat presentation. This is more like, I don't know, something you'd see in some sort of old book necessarily than like some sort of photorealistic rendering of a.
Yeah,
but it would also
sort of
fit with like
thing.
a Quandrix style.
Yes, exactly, because it's got like the
hard geometry.
Yeah.
Here's the Ravnica frame. We've got Utvara Hellkite.
Okay, can I just say?
Yeah.
I said this in the Reddit thread. The Ravnica frame is God tier design 1 because what is the most important thing about Ravnica identity-wise is that it is the city. The city, Ravnica itself, because I know all of this stuff, is based on Prague. And the art treatment they've gone is sort of a stylized, inspired by Muka, who is from Prague. So there's a Muka museum in Prague. So
and they changed the color of the rooftops depending on the color identity of the card. Yeah,
and then there's the cobblestone inlay in the background, which is one of my favorite finishes that you can do for a pre-made path in Animal Crossing.
That's true.
I like these frames a lot. I hadn't really paid attention to it, but I like it.
I think it's very like emblematic of the city. I think like the frame itself is quite wide at the bottom, and maybe they could have made it a little smaller to give it a little bit more room for the art. But I just really like that it's very stylized, and to me it like really speaks of like the flavor. It captures the flavor of Ravnica really well. Like in my head, that is what like art in Ravnica and like businesses would look like, right? It's got this,
and also the frame itself is kind of like you could imagine that this is all art.
Yeah. Can you bring up the Tesa in this frame, James? Tesa, I think it's Tesa. Just Tesa Carl.
The border doesn't feel like it's intruding on the art. It feels like it's part of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's very harmonious. I think the design here is really good.
Harmonious is a good word for it. Yeah.
Because you mentioned it, Kathleen, and I can't believe I didn't pick up on it. But yeah, all the art is also very inspired by Alphonse Mucha,
which makes sense.
Which totally makes sense.
He's from the city and country that they are taking sort of the architectural inspiration from. So
that's very cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
Big win here.
And I think very stylish.
To avoid confusion, Tesa is from the bonus sheet, not in this super drop. This particular Secret Lair is Misdirection, Udvara Hellkite. Next we have Kolgla, the Titan Ape, fresh out of Ikoria. So the Ikoria showcase frame is the crystalline stuff and the comic book style art, which is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that with Kugla? There's a little man. Who's that?
It's just an innocent man.
It's just a normal man.
Okay, have you guys noticed a huge uptick in magic people making that joke?
Yes.
I would like to say the first time I saw that joke being made by magic people in recent memory was, of course, the extended lead up we had for it in Punt Counter Punt.
And that was very good.
We had to explain. Nelson hadn't seen that joke before, so literally it was in our writing notes. Show Nelson, they're just innocent men.
Yeah. We are tastemakers.
Nyx Bloom Ancient, we've got.
I'd like to think everybody already liked that joke. We're like, no, it's not too old.
Yeah, it's
we
not
can
too
still
old.
make this joke.
It's just hilarious watching someone get kaboomed on TV.
Yeah.
So good. All the Theros stuff is the Jason Engel Constellation.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. Nyx Bloom Ancient, very, very cool. Enchantment creature, of course. And finally, for this particular Secret Lair is Joyra, Weatherlight Captain, with the Dominarian stained glass.
Love the
treatment as
stained
well.
glass frame.
So each of those Secret Lairs, I will say, we've been sort of oogling them. They're too expensive. This is ridiculous. It's 5 cards for $50. It's preposterous because they're only available in foil, right? If the 5 cards, I feel like 5 is where a Secret Lair should be, and not 4 in a bonus card. So I'm going to be pretty down on the rest of these because they all have 4 cards. But I'm putting it out there that when they started Secret Lair and it was like 5 cards for like $30, is like that was a little bit more reasonable.
That's a good deal.
Because none of these cards are like breaking the bank that I'm aware of. So the art's very cool. They look gorgeous. I'd be happy to have them in my collection. I'm just not interested in buying 5 cards for $50. You can get a bundle of all of them for $130. So you can
save
get
$20.
$20 off if you buy all 3 of those bundles, or all 3 of those Secret Lairs as a bundle, which is on offer. Also available as part of this super drop, 3 different artist series.
Ooh.
So first up, we have Elena Danner.
I love Elena Danner.
Got to say hi to her at Magic Con as well, which was nice.
I did not. I missed her.
So we barely got a chance to see the Artist Alley. I was like, I'm taking 10 minutes to walk through Artist Alley, and like as people were packing up, like at the very end of Sunday, and
Yeah.
I was just able to sort of whip my way through there.
Well, we were quite busy at
Yeah.
Minneapolis because of the game night stuff. But yeah, I literally on Sunday I had to be like, Wheeler, can I please borrow $5 in cash because I needed to run over to the Wizard of Barge booth and because they had bumper stickers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were incredible. I picked up one that said "Proud parent of a dancing skeleton." I'm putting that on my crappy old car.
I like the Magic Artist convention meta seems to have stabilized on because what can a Magic Artist sell to make money at a Magic Con, right? They get their artist proofs, which looks like a normal Magic card but has a completely
blank
white back, so they can sell those, and they can do prints.
Signatures.
They can sign stuff. They can do fancy signatures. They can do prints of their art. Some of the time,
Sketches.
It depends. Yeah, they can do sketches. Tokens. That's where the money's at.
Yeah.
For the artists, and not only that, many of them had like trays of like tokens, right? Like treasure, food, tokens you need a lot of, goblins, zombies, things like that. So those were usually like $1 or $2 or whatever for like a nice printed token. But the metal token, did you see the metal token, James? I picked up a couple of these actually.
Ooh.
These were like $10 for the art that they did. Like for example, treasure. I picked up one from, I can't remember the artist offhand. I have it at home, and it's printed on like a thin piece of metal, like when someone gets like a metal credit card,
Right.
like that. So it's like, I make treasure, thunk.
It's pretty cool.
Honestly,
Yeah.
they look absolutely sick.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, that would be a great thing to get, like a Planeswalker emblem or a Merit Large,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
On some like nice blue metal. Just
Yeah.
like
It'd be very cool.
looks like ice. That'd be cool.
So, anyway, just
idea.
wanted to mention that. Go say hi to the artists if you're
Yeah.
if you're at a Magic Con.
I mean, my opinion at Magic Cons is always like, you can play Magic in a lot of places, but like Magic Con offers a lot of things that you don't get to do other places.
You can do goofy stuff. You can do goofy magic things like the unknown events or the Loading Ready Run Mega Chaos Draft.
But like seeing artists, I think, is something you don't get to do very often.
No, exactly. See the artists, see the people, get signatures, like that kind of thing. It's very fun. Find people, go for lunch.
So, speaking of artists, this is the Elena Danner drop, which it says here, Elena Danner loves angels, like a lot. She also loves illustrating breathtaking, vibrant artwork, and which she's been doing for Magic since Dominaria in 2018. More importantly, though, she loves angels. So she selected a set of amazing angels and angelic lands for her artist series, and even wrote 2 brand new cantos of the Song of All that you can find in the flavor text of these cards. Cool. So they are Sunblast Angel. Da-da-da. Linvala, Keeper of Silence.
Oh, dang.
Emeria the Sky Ruin, the first reprint of this since Commander 2014, apparently. And Seraph Sanctuary. Now, womp womp, this art isn't finished. This is incredibly awkward and embarrassing for Wizards of the Coast. This is an in-progress version and not the final version. And this is the version that is being printed in the Secret Lair. They realized a little too late.
Oh, no.
Apparently, the final version... Here's the statement. Hang on. Because this is very silly. We are aware of an error. Printing the card for Seraph Sanctuary is found in the Elena Danner drop. An in-progress version was used instead of the final version. This affects both traditional foil and non-foil products. So the correct art... So you see on this, if you're watching the video, the building in the bottom left, isn't a building. It's just some shapes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So there is final art for this exists. The buildings in the background are more detailed and smaller as well. Anyway,
I mean, I don't actually hate it.
No, I mean, I wish my in-progress stuff looked half as good.
Yeah, I guess this is just like Seraph_Sanctuary final 1.psd effect.
Yeah.
Right.
So the solution is we can confirm we will be printing the corrected version of the card that will be included as the secret card in a different future Secret Lair, which is annoying.
Yeah.
We've worked with Elena to come to the solution, and we're also giving her a number of copies of the corrected version, both in foil and non-foil, to distribute at future conventions.
Oh, so if you find Elena and you can bring her your in-progress version, and then you can get the fixie version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the art's gorgeous regardless, but that's very embarrassing for Wizards. And I can't imagine, I'm not going to speak for her, but I can't imagine being Elena in that situation when it's like, you weren't supposed to. I hate when people look at my stuff in progress.
Oh my God.
Like when I'm working on a video and the edit's not done yet and someone's like, oh, let me see that. I'm like, no, don't look at me.
Yeah, or you're halfway through writing something, so you have the sentences are all there, but they're not, the idea is there.
Yeah, there's just a big block of stuff at the end of the document that you've been copying and pasting, trying to find a home
for. Exactly. It's one really good sentence, 3 bullet points, and a sentence that's going to be rewritten 5 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's whip through the rest of these. We've got, I say whip through. We've got artist series Randy Vargas. Randy's been bringing unforgettable scenes to life across sets like Adventures of the Forgotten Realms, Throne of Eldraine, Zendikar Rising, etc. He brings his dynamic and captivating style to a truly amazing set of cards, which include the first reprint of Grand Abolisher since Arch Enemy Nicol Bolas 2017.
Dang.
Cool.
Very cool. There's also a Selfless Savior, which is...
Dog.
Yeah, it's sad.
Oh.
I know, right? It's the Selfless Savior.
Oh, that flavor text.
I know.
I never had a chance to say thank you or goodbye. Sarvag, eulogy for a friend. Oh.
What a good dog. Also, the foreshortening makes it look enormous, which is very entertaining to me. Mm-hmm. Achroma, Angel of Fury. It's very cool. Mm-hmm. And apparently the first non-list Umezawa's Jite reprint since 2016.
Whoa. Ooh.
Yeah. Featuring Umezawa. I should say each of these, the artist series, are available in foil or non-foil. The last of the artist series is Rebecca Gay.
Now, this one is
wild.
Very tempting. Not that they're not all good, but like...
Fan favorite artist ever since she first illustrated 3 cards for the Alliances expansion in 1996.
Wow.
Since then, she's contributed more than 150 pieces to Magic the Gathering. With the series, Rebecca brings her distinctive art style and poetry to some fantastic cards, including the first reprint of Sarah the Benevolent, and an all-new take on another card, which we'll get to in a moment.
love this, Sarah the Benevolent.
With the sunglasses. and the
Sarah
boots.
Del Rey.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
It's
she
very
looks
good.
incredible. Sarah's just... This is Sarah. She's chilling. Is she wearing hot pants?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for painting our queen.
Hot pants and big boots. Cleansing Nova. It's very cool. I think there's a unicorn in there. Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah.
Right? And Muddle the Mixture.
Yeah. Man, Muddle. The card that everyone, the card that you should be cutting from your Highlander deck but can't.
Which...
What does that text box say?
Muy gay. It's but, G-U-A-Y. It's very gray. Whatever you desire to muddle or mix, I'm your fix.
I can feel Wheeler's wallet opening from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, penultimately, there are 2 other secret layers in the Super Drop that are not artist series specific. One is called Nature is Adorable, and the theory here is that these are beasties of the forest, including a reprint that we haven't seen since 2004, apparently. So we've got Yoraga Tree Speaker.
Oh.
Yeah, these are very cute.
Oh, do you remember these level up dudes from original Zendikar?
Love Yoraga Tree Speaker. Very good.
Oh.
Your turn 1, turn 2, and then turn 3, you just pop off.
All my elves are enormous.
Oh my God, great art. I have not seen this Secret Lair yet.
Nature's Will. This is the first reprint of Nature's Will since 2004.
This is the kind of art that gets me to open my wallet.
The Ulvenwald Tracker.
The bear.
Friend of Bear.
Okay, listen, it's Grar, not Rar. Rar isn't going to scare anyone. No, let's try again.
The idea that the bear is like, rar.
No. We talked about this.
And Yeva, Nature's Herald. Another bear friend. Both of those cards were in Bear Force 2 because they're not bear cards, but they're friends of bears.
They have bears in the art. That's the cutoff, right?
Yep, that was it. Yep. All this art is by Aya Kakeda, so it's not technically an artist series, but it kind of is. Anyway, I think for the artist series, they let the artist have a lot more input on what is being printed, and as mentioned on Elena Danner's and Rebecca Gay's stuff, they also did some of the flavor text work, which is very cool. Finally, a drop called Cool Ocean Breeze, what's their thesis for this one? It's a pool party.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Thassa said everyone's invited, so grab your swimsuit and bring some chips. All the art was done by Lauren Is. So we have Lawan, Cephalid Empress.
Everyone's favorite commander to see across the table.
Whenever Cephalid Empress enters the battlefield, return all blue creatures your opponents control of their owner's hands. Your opponents can't cast blue spells.
Blue creature spells.
Oh, blue creature spells, sorry.
Does she have her seal? Right? Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. Or was it Lawan who's in the original art? She's holding a seal as if it's a small ornamental dog that you would see in like a monarch's portrait.
Yeah, like she's got like a little Chihuahua seal essentially.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Purse seal.
I know the one you're thinking of. I don't see it in here necessarily, but maybe.
Or no, I'm thinking of what's her name?
A different cephalid?
No, the one that takes control of legendary creatures.
Oh, yes.
She's a merfolk, not a cephalid.
Right, okay. Master of Waves. Very cool.
Hangin' 10.
Yeah. Thassa, Deep Dwelling. Very cool looking. Now with an eye patch.
Ooh.
And 2 Bidents. Combined them together to make a quadrant? No, that doesn't work. And Thassa's here, and so is Thassa's Oracle.
It's a tick-looking art for Thassa's Oracle.
Very cool. That's actually really cool.
So each of those, all the artist series and each of the last two ones that I mentioned are $30 or $40 if you want them in traditional foil. Not Halo foil, just normal foil. And you can get, as I mentioned, the March the March the Machine Showcase bundle, that's $130. The other 5 Secret Lairs that we just talked about, not in foil, for $130 as well, which is also a $20 off, or everything in foil for $300, or everything twice, once in foil and once not, for $424, which is down from $500 if you bought all of them individually. If you
save $76.
Yeah. Those are the secret. That's your Secret Lair update. Yes. So that's things you could add to your collection. But what if you wanted to take stuff out of your collection? Well, if you're around here, you call Wheeler. At least that's what Cameron did.
I did. I decided it was time that my closet got cleaned out. And as part of that, I got rid of my collection. Well, a large part of my collection. Did you know I had 8 4-column boxes of Magic cards?
That's quite a few Magic cards.
That is quite a few Magic cards.
You're quite a minimalist, Cameron. That's a lot for you.
Yeah, I hated it. And it got to the point where I didn't even want to look at it anymore.
Right, yeah.
It was a problem. I was embarrassed by it, and I hated it.
Put it in the closet and put it away.
Yeah, and then cover it with cobwebs so you don't have to look at it anymore.
I understand that.
This was also compounded by the fact that I don't own a car, so transporting it anywhere was enormously problematic. And my partner just really encouraged me to handle this, and I appreciate her a lot for that. So Ben Wheeler, who is just tremendous, took on this task because I think it's something it's a service he offers. I don't know if he enjoys doing it.
He does enjoy it, but it is also a service he offers. If you're good at something, don't do it for free.
Exactly. So for a very, very, very reasonable service fee, I was able to drop this off for him. I rented a car, put it all in. My neighbor asked, "Are you moving?" And I was like, "No, sorry. You can't get rid of me." Loaded it into a car, brought it to his place. And by the time I got home, I had a text message from Wheeler saying that it was sorted.
That's astounding.
And he got it down to 1 4-column box and 1 2-column box.
Nice.
And neither of those are full. He pulled out basically like all the rares, all the commons and uncommons that have value, and then a Highlander place set of staples. Like Highlander staples.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Then supporting tokens, basic lands. And I can further cull those down as well. I think I'd really like to get this down to...
Just 1 box?
Yeah, because I got it back and thought, oh, I really liked how the closet looked without any Magic cards in it. And it's really forced me to examine my relationship again, because I used to think that I was quite a minimalist and didn't keep things around. And that's a lie. That is 100% a lie, because I'll just like go out, I'll get paid and be like, well, there's a bunch of books that I wanted to pick up that have come out this month that I, could get from a library like a responsible adult, or I could just spend all my money on those and then I'll put them by my bedstand or my bedside table and never read them. Yet I'm a minimalist, you understand. But when Wheeler texted me, he wanted to know, like, okay, they're sorted. What do I do with it? Right? Because he will get rid of your shash, but then he needs to know, what are you keeping and why?
Right.
Right? Like, what's my methodology here for sorting these? And I was... I labor under the delusion that I'm something of a Highlander player, or at least I'd like to keep things in the event that I do become a Highlander player.
Right.
Because, like everyone else, I am simply a little bit of my attention away from being the baddest player of anything I do.
Right.
Right? So maybe I'll just keep my collection and dedicate a bit of time to it and, roll up some tournaments because that's something that can just happen. But the idea that now I have to critically evaluate what I keep and why and for what purposes was a watershed event. Well, not really, but it was something that I had to dedicate time to. And having one thing in your head is one thing. Having to explain it to another human being who has to take actions based on that is embarrassing. Right? So explaining to Wheeler that I want to keep a Highlander playset, i.e. one card, of anything that is Highlander playable. And he's like, okay, I can keep 50 cards for you. Right? You have a fine collection, but it's not like you just have Moxen floating around. But keeping one of things like Lightning Bolt, Ponder, Brainstorm.
The kind of stuff that you're gonna need anyhow.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm building Highlander or if I'm building a commander deck, there are certain cards that you just want to keep around because they're useful.
Mm-hmm.
I should deal with all of the cards that we have. We have this dresser that hasn't really found a great home in our new place, and it used to have
I've only lived there since 2021.
3 drawers. We're busy with some stuff. It used to have 3 drawers that were full of old deck boxes and stuff, right? And then every time I'm oh wait, I have this card, I got to go find it, and I start looking, I'm realizing how many more drawers than I thought are now being occupied.
Yeah.
And I've got stuff in there that's what is this deck box? What's in here? And you open it up and it's a couple rares and a whole bunch of commons, and it's wait, what is this? Oh, this is a deck. Why is this a draft deck? Oh, these have stamps. Oh, this is a day 2 draft deck from GP Vegas or something, right? And it's
something with emotional resonance.
Yeah, but, and it's just sort of oh, do I need, I'm just going to put this back in the drawer for now and deal with it later. Yeah. And at some point I should deal with that. And it's I don't know if I want to keep that or necessarily. I just didn't want to think about it at the time when I found it.
Yeah. Because I was looking for that.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah, but eventually that we will all arrive at a point in our life where we're dealing with our biographer. And they will have to ask us, so when's later? Right? Mm-hmm. Can you point me to later? In this manuscript, which page does the later you're going to deal with this occur in your life?
It's like that Swedish death cleaning concept. It's you have to do this before too late. You have a finite amount of time to clear out your stuff. Otherwise, someone who doesn't care and doesn't understand is going to do it for you.
Yes, yeah.
Because they're going to be in a hurry.
Yeah. Yeah. And being paid by the hour if they're lucky.
Or they're a relative, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And they've got a deadline to get your stuff dealt with.
So, I have to finally confront the fact that I'm probably never going to play a Life from the Loam deck.
Then maybe you can send that Life to the Loam to somebody else who's going to love it and pay you for it.
Exactly.
Some kind of other monster that likes dredge.
Hey, everybody likes dredge.
Academically.
Nobody doesn't not love dredge.
How many negatives can we fit into this sentence?
Enough so that I'm unclear as to whether I like dredge or not.
Good. Yes, same.
But I did keep my Dark Blast.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to do a similar thing about let me just keep stuff that could be fun in Commander, bearing in mind the kind of Commander decks I build.
Right.
So, goofy nonsense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I kept telling Ben things like, well, just keep everything that's going to be a pain to replace. And he's like, that's not a guideline. That is not a useful guideline.
Yeah. I can see that being a problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, what is a pain to replace now may not be a pain to replace later and vice versa.
Yeah, it's I don't know what they're reprinting, dude.
Yeah.
You got to give me
I don't know what cards are going to suddenly, have a synergy with a brand new card and suddenly become hard to find.
Just keep everything that's going to go up in value in 2024.
So this is when Wheeler gently puts the boxes down and walks away.
Yeah, it's I'm not doing this for you anymore.
Lower them into a flaming oil drum.
Every time you make a request like that, the hourly rate goes up by $2.
How do you manage your collection? Let us know about that. Do you manage your collection? Do you have a collection, or do you because what we've tried to do is, when we go to like Magic Cons and stuff now, right? Like we do sealed and drafts and stuff, and you end up with a bunch of cards, and it's go through it before you leave the city is what we've been doing, right? Is like, don't need any of these commons, any of these uncommons. Probably don't even need all these rares, but it's just like go through. I still came back with an entire deck box from Minneapolis.
I kept a whole bunch of stuff. I just kept the decks. I was like, whatever, I'll deal with it later.
I mean, you're already doing better than I was, which is that at Magic Cons, I will just like look at my draft deck after the event has completed and be overcome with anxiety and just leave it on the table. I think I went through a couple of Smothering Tides like that. Or Tithes. Smothering Tithe.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who could have known?
Exactly. He didn't pay the 2.
Yeah, there you go. But you can pay for Magic cards at showsponsor cardkingdom.com/LRR. Yes, we're going to go with that as a segue. They're great. We recommend them because they continue to be good folks to buy Magic cards from. Or sell your cards too, actually.
Yeah.
That's generally what I do. I haven't done it in a while, but I used to fairly regularly, like at least once a year I would go through and put together a Card Kingdom sell order. So maybe I ought to do that again.
And we financed I think a fairly significant portion of our wedding by selling cards to Card Kingdom.
Yeah, we also had a very cheap wedding, but still. And of course, this show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, and we really appreciate it.
You know what? I never would have guessed your wedding was cheap.
Thank you.
We spent the money on the things that we cared about, which was food and like making sure that the people who were in the wedding party didn't have to buy their matching ties and socks and wedding and bridesmaids' dresses. And
nobody's going to remember that our wedding didn't have chair covers.
That's a thing. We could rent chair covers for the chairs for only $2 a piece.
So expensive.
Yet I still have my socks, my bow tie, and my pocket square.
There you go.
Which were all provided because we thought we can't possibly force people to buy orange items. Are they going to wear them again? Maybe not. Right?
I wore through my socks, but that's just how I operate.
Anyhow. If you want cheap wedding planning tips, please talk to us. We'll tell you what not to bother spending money on.
Yeah, it helps to have your dad be able to trick a florist into thinking he's a wholesaler.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got cheap flowers, and also I think the biggest money saver was that I went to a wedding dress shop. I said, I want an inexpensive wedding dress. They said, okay, yeah, that's about $900 to $1,000. And I went, no, and then bought just a white dress, which you're allowed to do.
Yeah, you can just do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nobody caught you?
Yeah, no, they
the cops didn't come?
No, they didn't check my ID or nothing.
Woo. Where'd you buy this dress? Anyway, that's it for TapTapConcede. Until next time, I have been Graham, joined by Cameron and Kathleen.
Ow.
And James has been running tech. Heather gets these online. Thank you all so much for watching or listening, and we will talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.